So had some requests for demonstrations on how I cook a meal. So I decided to have Leighton film me. So you can see how I put a meal together and how quickly it is. It's 6:06 right now. Clock. That's what time I'm starting this meal. I'm going to try and just go through this meal from beginning to end so you can see how long it actually takes me to cook a meal. And this will feed us for at least a couple days, so I don't have to do this every day. The salad that I'm making today is a recipe from Everyday Paleo, everydaypaleo.com. It's Sarah Fergrosso. I might be butchering her name, I hope not. But anyway, it's a recipe that's on her site. I get a lot of recipes from her, everydaypaleo.com, and also Melissa Jewelwan at theclothesmakethegirl.com. They both have really good recipes for paleo eating and that sort of thing. So, and I'm going to have baked chicken on the side, but I'm not going to put that in the cooking, sorry. But this is, you could eat this as a meal alone, but we eat a little bit more protein than that. First we'll need sweet potatoes, peeled, cut. You'll need coconut oil. I use the refined for medium to high heat. You can use any brand, just make sure it's reputable and it's good quality. You don't want the $5 5-gallon bucket at Walmart. That's probably not good coconut oil. And make sure that, you know, the ingredients are coconut oil and that's it, that there's nothing else in it. It is a little bit of a yellow color. If you get the unrefined that's white, that's fine as well. It's just for lower heat. Then the recipe calls for an apple. I'm not going to put an apple in it. Leighton and I have had apple bacon recipes before and weren't really a fan, so I'm going to leave the apple out. I might try to put some mango in there to give it that sweetness, but I'll probably leave it out. Then I need bacon. So we use Applegate Farms. We also use Penderson's. Penderson's has good like flavor bacon, like Applewood smoked or something like that. If you email Applegate Farms, they will send you coupons for their bacon. And then we have leeks. I don't have a full leek because I cut these up for my blog that I wrote yesterday. But leeks are basically just really big green onions with just a lot milder flavor. So if you don't like onions, that's okay. They're not as strong of a flavor. And then baby spinach. It's really only calls for 6 ounces, but I bought this thing so you can have more. It also calls for sliced almonds, but I don't have any, so I'll have to wait on that. So you just start, and first you have to peel your potatoes. So we're just going to peel all of them. We need 3 cups, so I'm going to peel about 3 potatoes and see how far that gets me. After you peel your potatoes, you'll want to make sure that you get them cut into like bite-sized cubes. It doesn't really matter how big they are, maybe 1 or 2 inch cubes. I never know what that means, or I didn't before I started cooking. Like, what is a 1 or 2 inch cube? It's a cube that's bite-sized, so that's not bite-sized, that's not bite-sized, but like, that's pretty bite-sized. Even that is fine. So it's not just, you don't have to cut it into squares. It's not that big of a deal. You just cut it into whatever you can eat. You could even leave it like that, but I prefer smaller so that I can just pick it up with my fork and eat it. I slice them like this and then cut them up. But you can also take these and cut them in half like this. Sorry. And then like cut them into fries. And then cut them like this. Whatever works for you. Don't model the way that I cook or cut because you might cut your finger off. I don't cut properly, but still the Food Network pays me a bunch of money to learn how to do that. I'm not going to do it. Okay, so we need diced bacon or sliced bacon, whatever you want to call it. It says like 8 slices, but I just get a whole package, and I just do the whole package. You can never have too much bacon. So, okay, you just open it, and slicing bacon can kind of be confusing. I didn't really understand how to do it before I started cooking, but it's really easy. Just leave it like it is, and then just start cutting. It doesn't matter how big they are. but just grab them in a bunch like this and just cut about 1 inch in, and then you've got diced bacon. It doesn't matter if they all stick together. Whenever you're cooking them, they'll all come apart, so it's okay. There you go. So now we gotta prep the sweet potatoes. So you gotta set your oven to 400 degrees. And then wait for that. So in the meantime, I'm gonna put my sweet potatoes in a bowl. I have way more than 3 cups. 3 cups to me, or a cup to me, is about 2 handfuls like that. But I'm going to go ahead and just cook all these because I'll use them eventually anyway in another recipe. So I'll go ahead and bake them all so I don't waste anything. Can't open that. So then you just put a little bit of coconut oil. I'm not very much of a measurer, but just pour it in. And then just toss it, and if it's not coating very well, then just add a little bit more. You don't want to overdo it. You also don't want to mix coconut oil with cold sweet potatoes because it will harden the coconut oil. So just make sure that they're room temperature if you can. If you can't, I would recommend heating the coconut oil just a little bit, maybe in some hot water. That way it doesn't harden as quickly, and then get them on your tray and in the oven as quickly as you can. Now I'm just going to spread them out over here. Just spread them in one layer. I don't think it's very important. Oops, dog food. I don't think it's very important to keep them necessarily inches apart or anything like that. I don't mess with all that. I just spread them on there and cook them.
Just cook them?
Just cook them. Once your oven's preheated, then you're going to stick your potatoes in there. You set your timer to 20 minutes, and then go ahead and let that bake for 20 minutes.